To all who come to this happy place,
welcome.
Welcome.
Well, come in.
Let's put on the show.
Your cadaverous pallor
aloha,
betrays an aura of foreboding.
Hang on to them hats and glasses.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. It's the first episode of 2019.
Happy New Year!
We hope you all had a wonderful, safe holiday season, and here we are at the beginning of a new year. That weird date that I mentioned that I loved looking at in It's a Small World holiday is now here. And with a new year comes new experiences, things to look forward to, and I feel like that might be what we're covering this episode.
That's right. Let's talk about things that we are excited for. Some new stuff that's going to be coming to the parks. Whether it's Disneyland, Walt Disney World, are we talking internationally?
We're talking every park that we can.
All right. And we'll talk about some other things that might be happening that aren't new, things that could be changing. Anniversaries, perhaps.
That's right.
So we have with us here, besides David and myself, we do have Inthea and Susie.
Hello.
Hello.
And so what do we got? What's something you guys are looking forward to?
Well, do we get the elephant in the room out of the way, or do we save it for later?
Start with it.
If you've been to the parks in the last year and a half to 2 years, it's of no surprise to you that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is opening at Disneyland and at Disney Hollywood Studios in Florida.
I will say, even though I'm not a Star Wars fan, that it looks like it's going to be incredible. It still is in the wrong park. It shouldn't be in Disneyland. But
I also posted this. So there's the article that came out a few weeks ago about how there was going to be 8 to 12 hour lines to get into the park, and then 6 to 10 hour lines to get on any of the attractions.
Which is ridiculous.
200,000 people.
Based on what? Is that what they were saying? 200,000 people?
Yeah.
So I was listening to some cast members a couple weeks ago on the red car trolley. I did not verify these numbers. These are the numbers that I heard. That Disneyland Park capacity is 85,000 people, but they cap it at 65,000 because it gets just unruly after that. And I feel like I've been in the park when it's been unruly, so I don't know if maybe that's when they have fudged it a little bit. Maybe on New Year's Eve when they do fireworks and stuff, it's up in the 85,000 number. But and then they were saying Disney California Adventure Park they cap at 50,000.
Okay.
Has been. These are the numbers that I've heard, and that had come up when I think it was OC Register had come out with the article that had said the 200,000 people or whatever.
I wonder if they're doing that to get less people to come.
Well, you might think of, what was the number? Does anybody remember the number that actually showed up for the Disneyland opening when, they planned for X amount of people and it was, way more because people were scalping tickets in the 50s and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember the number.
Or creating fake tickets, but some unruly amount of people showed up down at Disneyland.
Well, when they say a 10-hour wait to get into the park, doesn't that just mean sleeping over like how we did with California Adventure?
I also had the cast member that, and he had been at the park for a while, but he didn't seem to know or remember that they had done a 24-hour event in '87 when Star Tours opened. And I don't think my parents were there, but I definitely have pictures of them in line for Star Tours, and they have told me that they remember it being a madhouse. But there was a 24-hour event for that attraction opening. And I wonder if they'll do something like that to mitigate this opening, because, wow, it's going to be something special. And then I feel like there was some exclusive, like you could pay a bunch of money to get in early or something.
Yeah, they're trying to do that ticketed event like they did for Pixar Pier.
Well, that's the rumor.
The rumor that they'd end up doing that and they would charge double or more for what that would be. I think they were testing out the waters to see if people would participate in something like that. So that's a rumor that's floating around. I'm wondering, I know for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, when it opened in Florida, there was an insane wait to get into the land. And so,
which is at the back part of the park.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like Star Wars Land.
that's a good point.
So to circumvent that, for Universal Hollywood, they did a timed ticket situation. So you would essentially get like a fast pass. You'd go to a kiosk or a person, and they would give you a timed entry to come back in.
That sounds familiar because I believe that the theory is that at each of the entrances to Star Wars Land will be kiosks, almost like our new Fast Pass little kiosks that they removed from Pirates. Like they decided this was also not a good idea, and let's forget that this happened.
Well, even all of the second kiosks in all of the lines that do still currently have
Haunted
Fast
Mansion,
Pass, it's just like
all of a sudden
what was
it's
the
missing.
point?
Yeah.
No, I
It's
mean,
just the cast
sometimes they're
members
even
standing
there. They're covered.
Yeah.
Which is now just like this eyesore.
Yeah. I liked the system. I thought it was good. Anyway, so yeah, I think the theory, is that they might do something like that for Star Wars Land, right?
So yeah, it'd be so you get like a fast pass for the entire land and maybe get a fast pass for the ride. Did they do that for Pandora? Did Pandora have a staggered entry?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
I don't
feel
know
like
for sure.
maybe.
So that line gets really ridiculous. It's like a 4-hour wait, right? Radiator Springs Racers still gets up to over a 2-hour wait.
Where is their Fast Pass now?
I saw
It's
they moved it to where
It's
kind of where that view is of the whole canyon. They roll it out in a cart.
Oh.
So maybe they move it.
I think when they opened it, they had put it by the entrance where there's now a store. And they realized, this
Yes,
is a
that's
really
right.
bad idea to put this where the line is already protruding out.
So
then
then
they
for the
moved
longest
it.
time it was in Bugs Land.
Yeah.
and now that's closed. I wonder if they'll do that. They'll have like a staggered entry. I feel like there's a lot of I'm gonna call it paranoia building up towards this, as well as a lot of hype for something that dutifully should have a lot of hype associated with it, and it's going to attract a different fan base and expand a fan base that already exists for the Disney parks. But I don't know. I wonder how those days, how it's going to work out, the logistical things, parking, just everything. I really wonder how. I want to fast forward to that time and be there, just to be like,
Really, what
remember
they
when
need-
everyone lost their minds.
You know what they need is a zip line from the top of the parking structure right into. It's right there.
You can't even get into that parking structure. It's closed half the time.
Yeah, I know.
So is there anything particular that you guys are excited to see or disappointed about?
I'm excited to see a new land at Disneyland. The one thing that I will say that I have enjoyed about the Galaxy's Edge construction is all of the new looks to Frontierland that we now have. I really love the new train trestle. I really like the rock work on the Frontierland side of that berm. As much as I loved that side of the park all the time anyway, they didn't ruin it. So from that aspect, it's been great. And that side of the park is still really nice and quiet. Unfortunately, like we covered on our quiet spaces at Disneyland, all of those will go away very quickly.
Yeah.
And that will be a thing of the past.
That'll be a cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from pictures I've seen online, it looks like it will be a wonderful land. It's just not an IP that I'm interested in. I am excited to see Rex, the droid,
I was gonna say the same
make
thing.
his return.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
In
he'll-
what capacity?
He'll be a DJ at the cantina, I believe. So I'm looking forward to seeing that throwback.
Inthea said that Paul Rubens went in recently to record his lines.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Well, rumor.
Oh, really?
People saw him
At
at a
Imagineering.
place where things would be, where magic would happen. So people are theorizing that that's what he did.
Wow.
It's not for sale, Frances.
Get on my bike, Francis.
I will say that commercial that they had that was shot in the queue was very impressive. So I don't doubt that it's going to be amazing.
Sure, it's gonna be magnificent.
It's gonna, but the only thing I can really genuinely say that I'm looking forward to seeing eventually is Rex.
And you know, I have a feel like I'm not that excited about either of the two rides really. Like I'm just more curious.
What is the second ride? What is that? Resistance?
I'm not sure what it is, but I assume it's going to be like a screen-based ride.
Like a Harry Potter.
Maybe, but I'm just more interested in the actual land.
The introvert in me does not enjoy this whole you're going to pilot the Millennium Falcon, which I think is awesome, but then your actions will follow you through the land.
I don't like that either.
I don't want to be acknowledged. I don't want to be talked to. I don't want someone to bring up what I did.
Yeah, that's a good point. And how does that work? Is it going to be like how is everybody going to get to pilot the Millennium Falcon? How does that work?
It'll be like Mission Space.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. Huh. So wait, we're going to have Mission Space at Disneyland now?
Basically.
Okay, hold on. I'm on board a little bit.
I do want to eat the food. I want to see, because the food, one thing about the Star Wars movies is the food does not look appetizing. And now that I know where blue milk comes from, which, I mean, honestly, though, makes sense.
You'll have the delicacies of Dagobah.
Like, I just, I want to try. You guys know me. I love food. I want to see what kind. I love food, and I love theme food even more.
Sure.
So I'm ready for it.
Well, I guess part of it is that this is a planet we've never been to, right? On the edge of the galaxy, so they could come up with something completely new that you've never seen in the movies.
Exactly.
That all looks and tastes delicious.
It's just boba. It's a bunch of boba. Boba octopus.
Oh my god, are they gonna have a Boba Fett like beverage?
I don't think that's what she was saying.
Are they
but that would be.
That's what I was
No, but I
She was
meant
talking
like.
like boba beef.
No, I got
Boba,
that, but
yeah.
I'm wondering if there'll be a Boba Fett
I see.
beverage.
That's not what you were alluding to?
No.
I thought it was.
I wasn't even making a boba
I wonder if they'll
pun.
have.
If you work at Imagineering, please get a hold of us
I
at
wonder if-
info@remainseatplease.com
have,
for a residual check.
I wonder if they'll have action figures of Yoda and call it a Toyota.
So I don't think they're gonna be. No, I don't think they're gonna be as pun heavy. Really? As we would like them to be.
It's called Smuggler's Run.
Oh, wait, what is that? That is a thing.
I don't know.
Smugglers. Oh, that's the Millennium Falcon ride. Is
Yeah,
Smugglers Run.
that's
Okay.
But there's no pun.
So it's two ride attractions and a cantina, right? That's
Yeah.
the deal.
yeah.
Doesn't that seem a little small? Like,
I think
I mean,
that
I'm sure there's more stuff than just that.
A bunch of stores.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, look at Cars Land. You would just say it's flows and,
there's 3 rides.
well, 3 rides, I guess. But the other rides are so little. The other two rides.
I think it's going to look fantastic. I don't think I have a ton of expectation. Do I think that it's in the right place? Even if it was in Disneyland, it could probably be in a better place, because I think I have long-term questions about, like, what does that mean for Tomorrowland or the things in Tomorrowland that are Star Wars based. It just doesn't make sense, and that's what it's supposed to do when you're at Disneyland. It's supposed to make sense, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
What
I
doesn't
guess
make sense?
where it is, and if in fact the things in Tomorrowland that are themed around Star Wars stay there, so
Well,
then you have
yeah.
it's just a mess at that point. Like,
Well, I mean, Star Tours is really the only permanent thing that they
it
have
is,
there.
and it's probably pretty easily redone or rethemed. But that's the other thing, is they're just, if they just leave it and then, or change it, take it out and kind of leave and just retheme
The
it,
shell
that's
of the
kind of
attraction,
annoying.
yeah.
Like we don't want that, right? So I think about that.
Nothing in Tomorrowland is tomorrow themed.
Well,
anymore.
no, not
Right?
anymore at all, right? So
Well, the thing that makes me worry even more is that if they were to change it to that Iron Man experience, which is kind of like the same ride system from what I hear as Star Tours, I obviously don't want Marvel even more than I don't want Star Wars in Disneyland.
Oh, well, we'll have to see. We'll see in the summer of 2019.
So that's what it
We'll
is,
see.
right? Summer of 2019,
Yep.
it's opening. And then
Now-
later in Hollywood Studios,
Yeah,
right?
an exact duplicate is
fall.
opening in Hollywood Studios,
And that's
which
what it
I
is, an
think
exact duplicate,
yes,
right?
and I believe that is the perfect place for Star Wars Land, and I wish it was. I wish it was only in Hollywood Studios.
It really makes sense to Hollywood Studios. Their theming for that very limited Star Wars area is so good.
Yeah, the
it's
Star
so
Wars, the Star Tours
impressive.
queue is so awesome.
It's great.
The Forest of Endor, yeah.
And just expanding on that makes sense to that park, but it makes no sense to Disney. It makes Frontierland, Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean they're basically it's basically its own separate park that they put behind Frontierland. And that's how they're treating it basically, is that it's going to be its own thing, you know, with only alcohol being served there. If they do this timed or ticketed way to get in.
I'm sorry, going back to the alcohol situation, Magic Kingdom has restaurants that serve alcohol.
Like sit-down restaurants, like if you were to go to Blue Bayou and get alcohol. it's
Yeah,
that-
so like Beauty and the Beast over there has alcohol. Does anything else?
I don't think so.
I
So
don't remember Cinderella's Royal Table having beer. Did they have beer?
They did.
Oh, okay.
I think you're talking about versus like a cart or a
well,
quick service.
so that's my concern. Not my concern, but my question is, at this new edition, they will have a cantina that I would assume you'd be able to move freely out of the cantina.
Well, they said from rumor, or at least rumors that I've read before, that you could have alcohol anywhere in Star Wars Land, just not outside of it.
So are they going to have people policing the entrance?
That's the thing. That's what it seems like, but it seems like it's an impossible feat to do.
Yeah.
I have a feeling pretty soon alcohol will just be everywhere at Disneyland, like how it is at California Adventure, which I don't like.
or if you can only buy alcohol there. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
you would have to go out of your way to go buy alcohol.
Yeah.
That's where everyone is going to be.
Yeah, or if you wanted to have a drink, an alcoholic beverage in line for Space Mountain, you got a lot of walking ahead of you.
Yeah.
What is it that you would want to see?
In
because-
terms of what? Something new at Disneyland?
Well, yeah, and I mean, and this is truly going back to like the message of growing and never stopping and changing, and because in some ways you'd want everything to stay the same, but then if it does, what then
Well,
that's also not the original thing, right?
I want original attractions
content?
that aren't based off of IPs, and if it is based,
what is IPs?
IPs is intellectual property, meaning
Got it.
Star Wars or
Okay.
Marvel or whatever. And if they do, and I get, they bought Star Wars, they bought Marvel, and they want to put them in the park, but to me, in my heart, those aren't Disney. It's fine to have one ride like Star Tours or Indiana Jones, but a whole land, it just something doesn't seem right about it because it really isn't Disney to me. In terms of expansions or new lands or anything, the stuff that they do at Hong Kong I really like the Mystic Manor area, or for the different types of Frontierland attractions like the Bear roller coaster, or the stuff at Tokyo Disneyland. Like they're doing a big expansion to have, Beauty and the Beast with these incredible animatronics. I wouldn't mind an expanded Fantasyland that took up, parts, maybe went around Toontown and went into where Star Wars Land is, and it includes like all the newer stuff, even Frozen Land. I'm fine with that, with the Frozen Land.
Okay, interesting.
I just feel like Star Wars and Marvel, and I guess whatever they do with Fox, is stuff that they bought, and it's okay to have rides based on that stuff, but whole lands in the original Disneyland is what kind of bothers me.
I agree.
There were rumors or thoughts that they might have a second entrance. There's no news on that, or
No, I think everyone wants a second entrance, or at least for crowd control, but I haven't heard
where would it
anything.
go though? Like you've
Yeah.
got
There's
what
a
is that?
whole like
Disneyland Drive there,
logistics.
which is already like an overpass over the.
You can't. There's a busy street right there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be able to do that.
Yeah, unless the cast members lost their parking lot there, then maybe you could have it over on that side. But
But where would you go then?
in terms of we don't know what the construction of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is, maybe on the shared wall between that and Toontown is an entrance.
That's Ball.
Yeah, like there's no...
But isn't there a cast member parking lot right there behind Toontown?
I don't
Off of Ball?
I think so.
There's a cast member parking lot off
there's
Ball.
There's like where all the... like where the trains get serviced and stuff back there. I don't know. But like, let's say there is that parking lot. Okay, you're in a parking lot. Then how do you get to downtown Disney, or where is that going to lead you to?
Oh no, that would literally just be an entrance into Galaxy's Edge. That's what I was. Yeah.
So meaning if you park there, or like
you would park at Mickey and
you
Friends, or
wouldn't
the
park
new expanded Mickey and Friends, which is also opening this year. You would take one of two trams, one to the Esplanade and one to the entrance to Star Wars Land. I don't know that this is a thing. I haven't heard anything about it since the theories or the, I guess, wish list item of it. But
I don't think there's any plans to do that.
Yeah.
But people are just, are worried about the line, so they were hoping.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be a very exciting year at Disneyland and at Disney Hollywood Studios because of this. It's Disney's Hollywood Studios, but Disney California Adventure, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Strange. The syntax is just so strange. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see this price hikes, which, as of recording, have not happened yet.
That's right.
But
and then, with Star Wars Land opening, it has been changing stuff already in terms of walkways and all that to make them bigger, because they are worried about crowd control.
That's right.
So far, they've done a good job where it's not really noticeable unless you're really...
It'll be interesting to see how much around Rivers of America changes, though, because there's still all those planters that sort of make it into 3 separate walkways that get very crowded during Fantasmic shows.
Oh, at New Orleans Square, you mean?
Yeah, in New Orleans Square, yeah.
Extremely crowded.
Well, originally, those planters weren't there. Like, all those were added for Fantasmic.
Oh.
It was just kind of a flat surface that would rise a little bit, but they made the different platforms so people would be able to see Fantasmic better.
Ah, I see.
So, they could get rid of that, but then it might make Fantasmic viewing harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the old tomcat with meow, meow, meow.
So what else do we got?
Well, if we wanted to stay at Hollywood Studios, since we're mentioning this Galaxy's Edge going there, we got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah.
Opening in the fall of
this is
year.
another tough one for me, because it replaces one of my favorite attractions of all time, the Great Movie Ride. I love that ride. This ride will be all screen-based, which already doesn't excite me, but I do like that it'll be a Mickey ride. He should have a ride.
It'll be screen-based, but it'll also be somewhat practical.
Will it?
So, like, third-dimensional pieces. So you have multi-layer screens, essentially, that have the general shapes of items, and then they'll flip around.
Correct, yes.
So it's not entirely screen-based.
Yeah, that's true.
So kind of like Pooh's Honey Hunt in Tokyo that's the trackless ride system that has practical set pieces with enhanced screen stuff behind it.
Yeah.
Almost like the Spider-Man ride at Islands of Adventure in Florida, or
I think
that
that's
looks
a
more like
little
a Star
more
Tours.
screen. I think it's less screen, more practical. But honestly, they have not released anything regarding
Yeah, it's all speculation.
this. It was during D23. I guess it'll be
a year and a half ago at this point. Yeah.
They showed a little bit of it, and it seemed like it was more practical than anything else, with like lighting and maybe some like projection mapping. From what I gather, but I never took it to be a solely screen-based ride.
The Great Movie Ride, I feel like, could take 90 people or something at a time. Is this
probably
gonna
more
be,
than that?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a totally different ride system. So
Do you think so? I really registered it being the same almost.
no,
Like
I
a
think you're going to
train.
be in a train. Like I don't think you're going to be in a big car that's like a moving movie theater.
You don't think they're gonna stick a steam engine in the front?
I think it'll be a totally different ride system.
You think it'll be more narrow?
And someone was saying online recently that apparently for what they're building for this ride is only taking up about a third of what Great Movie Ride took up.
What? Take up the whole thing.
Yeah, just make it
maybe
longer.
they'll be putting another ride in there too.
Oh, I see.
Or they'll have multiple tracks.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, this is, again, just rumors
Because if
online.
you're going to make the ride vehicle smaller, then you need to get more people through it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, this is, again, I don't know for sure.
And then the news is that it's going to now come to Disneyland.
Right, which I'm very excited about that because it's not replacing something I love.
Did you see?
Again, Mickey should have a ride.
And this is the first Mickey ride.
And also, this isn't the Mickey ride that I envisioned. When I first heard of a Mickey Mouse ride, especially being in the Chinese theater, I thought it would be a great dark ride, animatronic ride, taking you through the history of Mickey, starting with Steamboat Willie, seeing Fantasia, going into present-day Mickey. And I thought that would have been really neat, but this is different.
Genuine question. Is there anything you are looking forward to in 2019? Or is this entire thing going to be you being just...
Lambasting Imagineering.
I genuinely want to know because you're going to a real deep, dark place.
I am?
You're very sad sounding.
You don't sound excited about anything.
I just want to know. We're about to put out
I've got the list. I don't see
1 hour
getting
podcast
excited.
of you just being like, oh, let me tell you.
This is why he's talking about anniversaries. He's got to get himself back up.
Exactly. I'm excited about the 50th anniversary of the Haunted Mansion.
So going to our Mickey's Runaway train that will be coming here. I was reading.
And this isn't 2019, the one that's coming here, right?
No, there's no date yet for it, I believe. Someone was talking about, because I believe we were talking about placement. And
We thought, well, I was thinking maybe right behind Small World, just to the right of Roger Rabbit, was where I could see an attraction fitting.
Which I think that is too close to the train.
Oh, good point.
However, someone had mentioned, because I think I had mentioned the Five and Dime and whatnot, and someone talked about the Gag Factory, that whole little area. Just
Yeah, I heard the Gag
taking
Factory
that out.
and the gift shop.
Yeah.
I won't miss it.
I mean, that gift shop is like,
Yeah. I mean, it has...
it's useless.
Pretty much. Sometimes you'll find stuff that other places in the park don't have.
I will say I very easily found those cute like pens that are all themed after things throughout the park. Yeah. Well, I found them there. I mean, I ended up finding them other places as well, but it was easily like you can literally spot things easier in there because it's smaller. But it's all repeat merchandise. Like it's not.
Yeah.
So you were reading somebody thinks that it'll go
Yeah, the Gag Factory looks like that's gonna.
It's okay. I won't miss it. I don't think it's fun for what it is. It serves no purpose really.
Yeah.
As long as they don't mess with Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
I will say that I can agree. This is where I start to feel some of that. Like they've already taken so much of the like interaction away. And when we were talking about Dream Park, that was one of my big things. Is I wish that, I wish that there was more of that in there. And the fact that they're going to take even more of that out, is kind of like bummer. But yeah.
We walked through everyone's house recently through Toontown, except Mickey, of course.
Why didn't you go to Mickey's house?
Because we don't want to take a picture with them. We just wanted to
You
walk
could
through the
technically just walk through for
It
most of it.
It is easy to forget that you can, before the theater, exit the building.
Oh.
There is an exit there.
I love going to their houses so much. It's kind of sad though, thinking about like what it used to be. Mm-hmm. Like
Goofy's Bounce House.
Yeah,
which
like
I
it
never
just
got to
seems
experience.
like-
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of Toontown seems like that. Like with the trolley not moving anymore. Like it used to be so
Trolley.
much more livelier.
I will say though, I'm glad that Chippendale isn't a ball pit where potentially poo poo could be hiding.
To take a break from news stuff coming to the parks, let's talk about a little bit about the past. There are lots of anniversaries that are coming up in 2019. So there are 3 attractions that are turning 60 years old. Can you believe that? 6-0. And those are the attractions that opened in 1959. Those are the Matterhorn bobsleds, the monorail, and Submarine Voyage. All 3 of those will be turning 60, and they look better than ever. Well, most of them. Yeah, I don't know if if they have any plans to do anything. They usually keep anniversaries relatively small, except for some merchandise stuff.
Ooh, some monorail merchandise.
When is the last time our monorail got updated? Not long ago, right?
I don't know.
I don't feel like it was
Pretty
that long ago.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast.
Podcast The Ride, right?
Podcast The Ride. They did a monorail one.
So did they get new monorails at Walt Disney World?
No,
I 100%
they're
guessed
falling
that.
apart.
Yeah.
You showed me that, yeah.
So our monorails have been updated 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then their monorails have only been updated
I think
twice.
ours has been more than 5 times.
I think
I
it's
think we're on 7?
Yeah, I think we're on the Mark
it's
7.
the sheer
Oh, okay.
volume of people.
Yeah.
And ours is not functioning. It's not a
In the same
functioning
way, yeah.
transportation.
No, but ours has had more updates than they've had.
But that's why.
That's what's
Because you can shut it down, and it has almost no effect
On the resort.
because it's not.
Well, that's a big problem also that people have with Disney World is that lots of their rides don't have the proper maintenance that Disneyland has because Disney World is a tourist destination as opposed to locals, so they feel like they
don't
can't
shut it
close
down.
things for a
Yeah.
long time.
But I
because
don't even think
people
with the monorails, it's not about closing down the monorails. It's about
Popping a new
replacing
one
them.
on, yeah.
The fact that a person on a scooty was physically getting out of the monorail and bumped the door and the door fell off the monorail. Buy some new monorails. Start replacing them.
Something doors, yeah.
A door opened halfway between 2 destinations and kept going.
it's like in New York subway system, like yeah.
I know, and even because of how bad they are, like even when we went on our honeymoon, it's down half the time.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They are. And I mean, I get that. And I wasn't upset that they were down. I get it. They run, a good percentage of the time. And it's like, whatever. There are other ways to get around. I will gladly take the monorail being down for a month or 2 while you work on replacing those cars. So I know I'm not supposed to lean on those doors, but guess what? Sometimes there's a bunch of people and they're standing right up against those doors. It would really suck if they just fell out and fell into the jaws of an alligator. That is how that is happening.
The alligators are waiting with their jaws open at the left. It is funny. We were riding the monorail a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this is so small compared to the monorails. And not length, because actually the monorail is pretty long. I can't stand in a monorail at Disneyland.
No, you have to watch your head.
You have to scooch in there, and then if you've got a stroller, like you have to fold it up, and then you're like doing this weird sidestep so much that everyone behind you is annoyed, and they just go in another door, and it's just
I hate it when people sit in the way.
That
I'm
too,
like, you
yeah.
want me to move this past
Oh
you?
yeah, for sure. But
Sorry, you could
basically,
take
it's
that
like
out.
basically you could.
Scooch down. There's space.
I don't know if Florida locals who've never been to Disneyland understand how small the monorail is in Disneyland.
I think, well, you're very understanding, and because you also understand the fact that it genuinely could pose a risk, it's actually strange to me that Disney does not recognize that, because typically they're like on it. A majority, I mean 98% of the people who are frequenting Florida would not. And I think, unfortunately, this is when they have just shown kind of, I don't even want to say it's greed. They're trying to appease, but at the same time, again, like at what cost?
Exactly. The other day I was complaining to Robert that so the Disney World or Magic Kingdom Railroad will be down. We're kind of thinking about a vacation this year, and literally every time we've gone, it's down, except for once since we've gone. And I understand it's not a huge transportation system, but them's the breaks. You find
Right, you
other
either plan
ways
for that, or you plan for a different time, a different
exactly.
trip. Sure.
And it's the monorail. There are buses. Guess what? You can walk.
There's a boat.
There's a boat that you can take to the Polynesian. It's a beautiful boat. Figure out other transportation.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're driving to the Magic Kingdom or Magic Kingdom, you have to either take the monorail or a boat to get there. because you park across the water.
There's probably a bus depot there too, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm sure that transportation.
I feel like we've stopped on a bus there on the way somewhere else.
I'm sure. It's not like it's, waterlocked or anything like that. But yeah.
I do feel like I remember when the Mark 6 launched, it was like very much like it's here. I didn't remember the monorail being down at any time. I feel like it was they just plopped the train on the track and let it go. Like, yeah, it doesn't seem to be that big a deal.
And I'm not saying replace the entire fleet overnight, but start replacing the problematic ones first and work your way back.
Yeah, maybe don't fix the door, just put the thing out to pasture.
Yeah.
Sell it to the guy from Disneyland. He'll put it on display.
Yeah, exactly. We'll buy, everyone in LA will get John Stamos money and we'll all buy a part of it.
It'll be communal.
Oh my God, John Stamos called somebody like, hey, what are you guys doing with that monorail?
Yeah. It's like I need
actually, you know what? That makes more sense. I saw John Stamos driving down the 101 in that monorail. It was missing a door.
See?
Makes sense.
There you go. Is it broken? Is it kind of weird? Give it to John Stamos.
So yeah, the Disneyland Monorail is currently on the Mark 7, 2008. That one premiered.
Wow.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good car life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's been how long for the Magic Kingdom?
And you know what? We're probably close to, because Disneyland is 64 years old this year. And that's 7 iterations of the monorail in 60 years.
Yeah.
So we're due.
Yeah.
Where's Mark 8?
But it probably won't because now
but you know what?
Star
We
Wars.
could. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, 60 years of the monorail. Happy birthday. And then add Matterhorn 60 and Submarine Voyage, as I said.
Which I rode Matterhorn and I still don't like it.
I still love it. I mean, it is bumpy, but I love the visuals.
You know what I realized it is? It's my legs when they're resting on the side of the vehicle. It's too
well, that's when I ride, they have like holes for your feet.
Yeah.
And you put your feet in there.
Mm-hmm. But my knees still stick out like crazy.
I feel like I have to basically try my best to stand up and have to maneuver myself with my legs, so all the pressure isn't going to land on my butt.
I don't understand what you're saying right now, and your head's going to get lobbed off and fall into my lap.
Stand up, and I'm more like it's just like all the pressure's.
I know. Do you remember the Halloween episode we did where we talked about the kid getting decapitated on the monorail? That's you now.
No, he got decapitated on the Matterhorn.
Oh, that's sorry. Yeah, Matterhorn.
There you go.
Is that, or because you're standing up and putting all this pressure on your legs so that you don't hit your neck, you're gonna snap your legs.
His knees are gonna fold backwards.
Yes.
It'd be like a velociraptor.
We're gonna be in our 70s and you're gonna be like, oh, that old Matterhorn injury. Is it cold outside?
Like, even the woman behind me when we rode last was like, nope, the whole time down we were going. She's like, it's not any better.
It goes slow now.
It does seem to go slower.
Wait, which side were you on?
We rode each side and we both complained.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Matterhorn. There are lots of other anniversaries coming up, and we'll get to the next one after this.
Apparently, Three Kings Day is a thing that is worth note. From January 3rd to the 8th, the Lunar New Year, so Paradise Garden area, will be decorated in the Lunar New Year celebration. It's the Year of the Pig, and that'll start on January 26th and go through February 18th. There's some Disneyland After Dark events, the Sweethearts Night on February 7th and 90s Night on March 7th.
Do you think Powerline's going to perform at the Tomorrowland Terrace?
I would be more interested in like the one that they did before, which would be like a 60s night, like the date night
Well,
one.
Sweethearts Night, that's
Nights,
pretty
think,
much what that is.
Is it going to be like 60s?
Well, I think it is
it's
a
like
throwback.
Dapper Night, yeah.
So Get Your Ears on Celebration is basically the entire year, it seems. So I know that they'll be doing some limited time food and beverage and merchandise. I think the biggest things that are happening at Disneyland outside of that are this Mickey's Mixed Magic. It's debuting on January 18th, and the way that it's described is this high energy projection show with enhanced fireworks. I believe it'll be select nights.
Where's that? Is that at Disneyland?
Yep. And there's like a DJ, Mickey. Yeah, so I mean 2019 this is like the 90th year celebration, right?
Continuing on.
Yeah, because it started on his birthday or anniversary, and then now we're going to go into the 91st, right? So this whole year we'll celebrate Mickey, and that's why it's so Mickey focused. So I've heard like Mickey will be like a DJ and kind of projections and what was in that corner in Hollywoodland? It reminds me of like this
Mad
Tron.
Tea Party?
Well, yeah, and like
Electronica,
Tron.
yeah.
Like I just imagine that. I don't know what it'll look like exactly.
Is it going to be in that area, in the Hollywood backlot area?
No. This is in
okay.
Disneyland
okay.
itself. It sounds like it's basically like a fireworks show, but enhanced with this. I mean, everything is sort of what it is already. It just seems to be more of the way they're going.
Watch the day we go to see it. I'm going to be like,
Cheaper.
what are we seeing? What is this?
It's cheaper than fireworks. And then Mickey's Sensational Parade is coming back.
Yay!
It's coming back on the 25th of January, and it's coming with a float from Tokyo, Disneyland. So I'm super kind of excited about that.
Do we know what the float is, or we just know a float from Tokyo Disneyland?
Yeah, so it's a new opening float featuring Goofy pulling a giant vintage Mickey Mouse. It is again coming from Tokyo Disney. I guess it was retired from one of their parades. And then there's also going to be a birthday cake float accompanied by Chip and Dale. The Mickey Mouse float that has been part of the parade since it debuted will be returning as a Mickey Mouse Club float, featuring Mickey and Minnie
so cute.
with quintessential drummers in new outfits.
Fun.
So yeah, that is that.
I love those drummers in that parade.
Very nice.
There's a whole like Valentine's month basically decor, and then there will be like a scavenger hunt map thing. I think you can usually buy those for like $5.
Oh, so they are going to do that again?
I feel like they do it every once in a while with certain things. And then we talked about Galaxy's Edge, but apparently there's another, I know nothing about it, but apparently there's a DCA encounter with Captain Marvel happening in early 2019.
Oh, I wonder if it's going to be in that area where they did the Spider-Man one.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Also, Food and Wine Festival is coming back.
Yeah.
In March.
Delicious food and
Wine.
I really love the Lunar Festival. I think they do such a beautiful job, and the food is delicious, and I love all the lanterns and the decorations. And I love that they had China-specific merchandise that I think came from, was that Hong Kong?
Shanghai, probably.
Or maybe Shanghai. But it was that Minnie hat with the little red hat on it.
So cute.
Which I ended up getting, and I absolutely love it.
I don't think I got it.
It's
a
the
bummer.
cutest. Hopefully they'll bring it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to these food festivals. I do love when they celebrate other cultures from around the world in California Adventure, and I love that they continue the tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's always well represented. Yeah. I will say something we've noticed in having, obviously, Wes. He's very interested in having his face painted, and they used to offer seasonal face painting at a complimentary no fee, basically. And that has gone away, and I'm slightly disappointed.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know this
in that they haven't done it in a while, right?
Yeah. And they haven't done it with things that they had specifically done it with before. So Dia de los Muertos, they used to have the special like, and then even I don't remember Holiday, but I do remember Lunar New Year. So it'll be interesting to see if they do it with this kind of offering, if you will. But yeah, I don't know, kind of bums me out a little bit.
So on that note, let's go to another anniversary. This year will mark the 50th anniversary of the Haunted Mansion. August 9th, 1969 is when the Haunted Mansion opened, and as you all know, it's a real crowd favorite. It's one of my favorites. It's in my top 2. Yeah, so we will be celebrating the Haunted Mansion all year, and I'm sure there's going to be some good merchandise. And I hope
they already did release that new Hitchhiking Ghosts Doom Buggy, which at this point is probably sold out again. And you were saying that they rose the price $5 on the restock at the end of December. Oof.
Wait.
He said they were $15 when they first came out. Before. Now that when they restocked them in the middle of December, they went up to $20.
Look, man, I'm not 100% sure why this surprises any of us anymore.
But so
hopefully more of that type of stuff.
I'm excited to see what they have, and hopefully they'll do something decent for the 50th anniversary.
Hopefully.
So Illuminations Reflections of Earth will be closing at Epcot, and a new spectacular will be opening in summer 2019.
That's right.
I don't have much of an attachment to Illuminations. I would like to see it one more time before it goes, but I am so excited about a new lagoon-based spectacular. I think we saw like a little bit of concept art or something regarding it. No,
that does sound familiar. When it got announced, I feel like there was an image that went along with the announcement.
I will say I have a very big attachment to Illuminations. Not so much the show itself, but when those...
Because they play the Free Willy song?
Well, I guess if you want to call it that. But it's when the torches light up all around the World Showcase and that music's playing. It's one of my favorite things to be at Epcot at night and you hear that. Wela, wela, wele, wela, wela. Come on. Wela.
It is fun. I like that. And I doubt they'll get rid of the torches.
I don't see why they wouldn't incorporate that in there, but who knows? I love that Olive World Showcase lights up with it, and I mean, the whole idea behind it is beautiful. It is a little lost on me because I don't think that it's
everything's
aged.
I will say is too far away.
Yes,
it is. Like
it is very.
I remember watching a video about how amazing the technology of the globe was and everything, and then when I saw it in person, I said I could barely see it. It's so
that's
far away.
Exactly what I thought when we saw it.
They should have had like 6 globes around the thing so you could see it.
Most of the music in Epcot, the background music, the
BGM,
is so epic.
Yeah. And blissfully retro.
I love it so much, and there's just like synthesizers and I don't know, just beautiful. Is it Moog? Oh
yeah, it's spelled Moog, but I guess it's pronounced Moog. I don't get it.
But I want that tradition to continue. So I'm looking forward to a new nighttime.
And it's called Epcot Forever?
Is it called? I hope not.
Epcot Forever is the temporary one that's taking place before the new one.
Yes. That's right.
Now that one, I would love to see. It's gonna. I think it's gonna be basically pretty much what it is now, except it's gonna be playing all the classic songs of Epcot, going through the history.
That sounds fun. I want to go see that.
We need to see that.
So that'll be temporarily. That'll be there temporarily until they are ready for this new show, which is all.
Will it be like World of Color? Will it have fountains and things, do you think? The new show, not Epcot Forever?
Probably. It's all based on the animated films and how they interact with the world, meaning, Mulan in China or...
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of Epcot and bringing it back to transportation, the gondolas are expected to open in the summer. I think they will... Oh, man. I don't know what to think.
Are you scared to go on it?
Well, I already know that I will be uncomfortable in a gondola situation because I don't do well with heights.
Well, how fast can they possibly go?
That's what's terrifying. So I know that there are long lengths and everyone's like, they're not air conditioned. And I'm like, they were never specified as air conditioned.
Right. I think people just assumed.
Which is ridiculous.
2019.
Why would you do that? And then yesterday I saw in Austria, there was a pileup of gondolas.
No, there wasn't. Mm-mm.
And they like, you know, when you have like a bunch of things on like a wire or like a string, and then you fold it and everything just kind of sticks out, like the charms just kind of stick out, or like your keys.
Oh, yeah.
And they just, you know, but with gondolas full of people.
So were these gondolas like the ones
Just
that'll
like
be
the
at Disney
ones
World?
at Disney World. And I was like, I'm okay.
This is when you got to get nerdy and you got to look at who manufactured that gondola system and who's manufacturing the one at Walt Disney World.
You know what? I will hold the doors closed with my bare hands on those monorails before I get on those gondolas with a bunch of people on them.
Well, it's called the Disney Skyliner, right? And it's going to go from the back end of Epcot near the France Pavilion over to pretty much the front of Hollywood Studios Park. And so
I'd rather take a friendship.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, a friendship, it's about a 45-minute ride from Hollywood Studios to Epcot with all the stopping that you can do in between.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation. I have nothing else to do. I'm going to take that friendship.
We had someone walk to Hollywood Studios and they were making it faster.
So much anxiety when traveling within that like resort, if you will.
Oh yeah.
And the time it takes.
Oh, so I do not like to be rushed and I don't like to be anxious. So I've learned in life in general, I give myself about double the time of what I think it'll take for me to get somewhere as a buffer. And then on top of that, I add about half an hour to when I need to leave. So in Disney World, generally speaking, if we have to go somewhere, we give ourselves about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get wherever we need to get, because you never know what's going to happen. And I also don't want to lose my mind. Mm-hmm. So we're usually early for our reservations. And then we always get sat early, which is so nice.
Unless you're going to Cinderella's Royal Table.
We don't go to there.
See you. They don't want to see you.
We don't go to there because they charge you beforehand. And when we walked in there to ask if we could look around, they were like, no. And I was like, I don't even want to go here. So we don't go there.
We don't eat there in this family.
This family is not a Cinderella royal something family.
Next up on our list of anniversaries, 1979, 40 years ago, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad steamed its way along. So yeah, 1979, the year of Big Thunder Mountain. 40 years. It'll be a fun celebration, I hope.
That's one of the goats. I mean, they just plussed it a little bit, so yeah, I guess it's just going to be merchandise and stuff.
Yeah, they probably won't do anything.
I hope they have a lot of weird merchandise.
Goat merch.
I mean, honestly, the 50th anniversary for Pirates was 2 years ago, and they didn't do.
Yeah, hey, for real, like if they have a goat plush though,
be real cute. Oh my god!
If they have a goat plush though, what?
Wouldn't that be grand? Opening in 2019, at least scheduled for now, when Bugs Land closed, one of the attractions got sent to be refurbished, and that was Flick's Flyers. It will be opening as the Emotional Whirlwind, the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind on Pixar Pier, theoretically in 2019.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that concept art, I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which reminds me of when PT Flea's pin shop traveled just down DCA past what was Golden Dreams Theater at the time, and is now the meet and greet area down in Paradise Garden Grill.
That was like one of my favorite pin shops.
It was the best pin shop.
Yeah,
I do feel like pin trading has probably waned in the last 10 years, so that was probably a good.
They also don't make very good pins anymore, unless you're a cast member.
Oh, the cast member pins?
The cast member pins have been
I do like the Epcot.
Amazing.
I like the Epcot badge pins. I'm trying to collect them all.
Like of the lands?
Mm-hmm. Of all the different,
Yeah, I got those all. I love it. The emblems.
Yeah. So yeah, the emotional whirlwind. And then, I don't know why, I'm like so blissfully excited for the new parking structure to open. I don't know why. Like, I keep looking at the construction like, oh, what do you think that's going to be? And then I'm like,
epic.
oh, it's going to be, that's where the escalators come down. And I see now how that's going to work. And
I'm really excited for the, like, so Universal, their exit is just that, like, corkscrew of an exit. Will this one have? It has a corkscrew.
That's what I thought that was going to be. But I noticed it was a little tight for cars to make that. They've actually built like a place for the escalators to come down. That's where the escalators are going to be coming down from, and the elevator shaft. I feel like they were putting in the elevator last time we were there.
Okay.
It's basically, rather than it being like along the side of the parking structure like it is now, they've built this like promenade area on the end of the thing, which I think looks nice.
Okay.
And then when we were talking about them opening the new parking structure, somebody said, yeah, as soon as this is done, they're closing the old other one because I guess it's sinking. And it has been for the last couple years. So I looked it up, and sure enough, a couple years ago, cement started falling on the second floor, and they had to close off a ton of spots to retrofit the parking structure, which has been sinking, I guess, for the last however many years.
So while everyone else will be at Galaxy's Edge, David will just be hanging out at the parking structure.
This used to be the Pinocchio parking area.
So are they going to redo the Mickey and Friends parking structure?
So yeah, what it seems like is when you enter, you'll still enter Mickey and Friends the way you enter. You'll go to the left like you used to for handicap and bus parking, except you'll go up a ramp on that side, up the parking structure. They'll close Mickey and Friends, retrofit it, and then continue from there. I don't know if the plan is to tear it down or not, but I think the entrance will still be there, and then the exit will be out to Disneyland or Magic Way, which I think is going to be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Mickey and Friends parking structure as it stands now, exit will remain there, but there is very much an exit that goes out Disneyland or Magic Way by the downtown Disney parking area.
Yeah, that sucks.
So, yeah,
really
but
sucks.
I don't know why I'm so excited for, and then I'm like, what are they going to do with the path of the tram? And like, will the walkway stay the same? And like, I just want to know all these things.
I thought it was just going to be, because, they're connected. But,
and they are connecting them, yeah.
So I thought all of that would just be the same. And like, kind of how it works at Universal, where you just walk to the main area, meaning the main area being where you take the tram.
In terms of what?
Basically, like if you're parking in the new structure, you'd walk back into where the Mickey and Friends.
Oh, to take the escalator down or whatever?
If you want to take the tram.
Oh, you think the tram stop will remain where it is?
Possibly.
I have a feeling that it's going to go back to where it was because the escalators will now meet.
Yeah, no, I feel like it
middle.
will be moved also, though.
So,
but I don't think that structure will have its own tram, though.
No, I don't. No. I think it's going to... that promenade area will return to its former promenade-ness.
I just feel like it's going to be so crazy.
Hopefully it'll be cool. It seems like they've got it figured out. But yeah, I guess they'll send you to the right to park a Mickey and Friends, or I assume it'll just be more Mickey and Friends. And maybe since they're connected, they'll probably just be Mickey, Donald, Goofy levels.
Who knows,
I don't
man?
know.
Or they could just go... I don't know.
They should put Pinocchio back in there.
Princess parking lot.
Oh. Whoa.
Princess parking. So many P's. But that makes sense, right?
Yeah. If they don't have Pocahontas princess parking, I'm going to be mad.
Podcaster I did a whole episode on the Universal Studios parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen? You should listen
No,
to it.
I still haven't listened to a single episode, but I follow them on Instagram. So yeah, that's I guess I am more excited about the new Mickey and Friends parking structure than I am.
Yeah, you talked at length about it.
Very excited. I even have a picture of the little thing that they have.
Are you writing fan fiction about the parking lot?
Every time we're there and we pass by and there's
I'm like the Rain Man of parking structures.
Yeah, like thing.
Do you know how many cars it's gonna fit?
No.
He doesn't know any
hold on,
real
I do,
information.
because it's on the
He'll
photo
know
that
after
I
he
took.
counts each space.
That definitely lots of parking.
It's like, man.
2019 will welcome a new parking structure. The 6,500 space structure on the Pinocchio lot next to the Mickey and Friends parking structure, just south of where you are now, redesigns loading and access to the Mickey and Friends parking and access to the adjacent new structure in a way that will significantly accelerate vehicle parking. Oh, and this is probably also how I figured out that it was going to be the escalator.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that looks so
We've lost
futuristic.
Robert.
But this also, look at that. Doesn't that look like they're going to have solar panels on top?
Yeah, good for them.
They always should have had solar panels
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top. Oh, I'm so excited.
It looks good.
1989 marks the 30th anniversary of Splash Mountain.
How do you do? Pleased to meet you. Fine, how are you? Nice seeing you.
Splash Mountain opened July 17th, 1989, which was also the, what?
34th anniversary.
34th anniversary of Disneyland itself. So 2019, 30 years of Splash Mountain. Zippity doo dah indeed.
Time to be turning around.
At Epcot, China is supposed to get a new film this year.
Oh.
And then I believe there is a new restaurant coming to Japan.
Okay.
Whoa.
There is also, unfortunately, it sounds like what they're going to do is replace the French video and put in a Beauty and the Beast sing-along.
Oh, I'm
With the
kind
live
of okay
action.
with that.
I mean, I get it. I really, in my heart of hearts, I can stay awake from with the French video, but I always end up falling asleep. And I think it's because I listen to the soundtrack and I fall asleep through it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, just part of me is
Beauty
like
and the Beast sing along. That
live
doesn't
action.
sound
I
like a show.
think
The live action movie.
live action movie, so they'll play it. You sing along to it.
No, I'd rather have like animated Belle take me through some French stuff.
sure. I think that again, we talked about this, I think, on one of our other episodes, is the marriage of Disney and the culture or learning or whatever, that looks like. I think that could be done in those pavilions, if you will. Yeah. Because, like, even in France, they have that restaurant that's kind of like Remy themed, or, right?
Yeah, he
Ratatouille.
used to walk. He used to come around.
Yeah.
He doesn't anymore?
No.
Ew.
It was a little puppet that would come
Yeah,
So
he
is-
was on a cart, right? Yeah.
Is the ride opening this year?
through. No. It opens the following year.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it next year.
What about
Yeah.
the Canada one?
That also is, I think, 2020.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, they're basically updating the film for that too, right?
Yeah. And Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's 2021.
21. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no opening date, but I assume that we might get more information on something I'm actually looking forward to a lot, because the concept is so weird and obscure, but not at the same time. It is the space themed restaurant that'll open by Mission Space.
Now, what do you think the odds are that it's going to be character themed by the time it opens, to like WALL-E or something? Do you think it'll happen?
I would hope that it wouldn't be, but then since the windows will be looking out into space, maybe he flies by. I wouldn't be mad about that.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that he gets integrated somehow, but maybe he's not there all the time. I hope Sunny Eclipse also makes a little...
They just
put in
bring
a good
little bit
word
of
with the
a-
Imagineers.
So I'm looking forward to getting more information on that. I know they announced it almost 2 years ago at D23.
That's right, yeah. And when we were there, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's this building and there's nothing going on.
Yeah. It was a while ago. And then I guess another thing I'm looking forward to is D23 this year.
D23.
D23. want to be amongst our people. I want to, the last one, I ran into some bloggers and people that I follow on the internet, and actually ended up building some internet friendships with some people that we actually communicate on a regular basis. So I'm really looking forward to it, because you end up running into people that you just know through the internet. I love I'm looking forward to whatever announcements. I feel though that we're in a weird place right now where D23 will fall before some things that were previously announced open, so we may not have as many new announcements as we might have.
I see. They announced things so far in advance last D23 that,
Because I think that happened to one of the D23s where they didn't have too much new to announce, because the one that they had 2 years before that, they made all these big announcements and they weren't even open by the time that D23 happened. So there was like models and stuff, and we're all like,
this is going to be like the iPhone S series of D23s. I wonder if they'll announce what they'll do with the entire west side of downtown Disney, because now almost everything but Rainforest Cafe is open again.
Yeah.
And the movie theater,
and
I guess.
ESPN Zone's not.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Maybe it's
So
hyperbole.
your thing.
Earl Sandwich and Starbucks are back, but...
But I mean, there's 3 giant pieces of real estate there that now are sitting very vacant.
I do like the vibe over there, though. I really like the stage.
Well, they've done, like that live entertainment. And
I'm kind of okay with the
trucks.
TVs with the sporting event stuff staying. Can we just update them to some HD screens?
Who pays for that?
That is interesting. I guess it's just
Disney.
Disney owns ESPN, so they were already paying for it.
I know, but why wouldn't they do more than just sports then? And not do more Disney stuff?
Oh, right. Yeah, just make it a commercial, basically.
Yeah.
I think, though, the likelihood of, like, you don't want to stop the kids. You don't want to grab the kids' attention. Maybe. I don't know. It just seems kind of counterintuitive. If you're like, if the kids are walking to a park, why would you have a bunch of cartoons playing while walking to a
Not
park?
cartoons, but promos.
So, yeah, those big pieces of real estate, it does seem to be a strange thing. However, what I do think, I never really cared about the House of Blues, and we never saw a show there, I don't think. But we did go to Tortilla Joe's a couple weeks ago, and there was a band playing in Splitsville, and I was kind of like, what's going on over there? And then I heard some people watching sports in there, and I was like, I kind of want to. And then I could kind of see the bowling alley. It looks really nice in there. Have you guys been there yet?
No, we haven't gone in yet.
I think I kind of want to have my birthday party there for sure.
Do it.
It just seems like I don't know. I was sort of on the fence, and I was like, I don't know, what's the point of this? But it does seem like a really good addition. And with the opening, I guess we might as well go into the Ballast Point is opening their brewery, and the Blacktop Bar, I believe, is opening this year at some point.
I think so.
I'm super excited because Tortilla Joe's is the only thing I cared to eat at downtown Disney. Although we heard some good stuff about the pizza place recently.
I feel like I've seen a lot of Instagram folk sponsored stuff, so I think they're really trying to hype it up.
But so was Splitsville. Just there was so much sponsored content that I was seeing.
I feel like I didn't see as much of that, I guess.
All of a sudden, everyone was having their birthday at Splitsville, but it looked fun. So I'm like, okay.
No, I'm with it. I've heard before that the pizza wasn't great, but now everyone's saying it's good. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it.
It looks nice. I like the new exterior.
We've never done the UVA, like that little...
Uva Bar?
Oh, I think we've done it like once or twice, and I just barely remember it.
Uva Bar's good. I've eaten everywhere at downtown Disney, but it's been such a long time that I actually wanted to do it this year, but unfortunately that didn't work out financially for us. So maybe next year... my goal is to eat at one place a month and just try it out.
That's a really good idea. I think if you set a goal like that, like otherwise you're just always walking through downtown Disney to get somewhere else. Like, that might be good.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? Is they're trying to make it more than just the two parts because you have to,
for lack of a better word, usable. Like,
Yeah.
I still haven't done the VR experience, which I hear is okay.
It's expensive though, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
$30.
Whoa. How long do you do it for?
10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
I'm not having my birthday party
90
there.
seconds.
I do want to do Jazz Kitchen brunch because I hear that the food is really good there. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Downtown Disney updates later this year, so that's exciting.
Tropical Hideaway.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about the food offerings and how we talked
Yeah, I
about
wanna
this
get-
prior. Some of the food offerings that they're showing already are warm steamed bao buns,
Yes, please.
chilled ramen salad,
Yes, please.
sweet pineapple lumpia,
Yes, please.
Dole Whip, and more.
Oh, so a third Dole Whip place.
I don't think you can order Dole Whips from the inside anymore. It's just for mobile ordering.
Oh yeah, by the way, mobile ordering only in between the stand and the tiki room, and on the outside it is in vivo ordering.
I'm okay with that.
There's more. Okay, so warm bao buns with spiced vegetable, kaffir lime chicken, and bulgogi beef fillings, ramen salad, spring rolls with cream cheese and pineapple. Ugh, all of this sounds
Get it while you can. Before it's
Good.
like egg rolls.
And then at night with the
Why is it called
tiki
a pineapple?
torches.
Pineapple's tropical.
Rosita.
I want to meet Rosita.
Is she going to be an animatronic? Yeah.
Yeah.
So exciting. Is she going to be
Beautiful. She's
interactive?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see the
that's
photo
The
of
whole
her?
thing is she's going to be able to interact.
I didn't
don't
read
know
the article. I
how-
just saw the
To
pictures.
what degree?
Yeah,
right,
they
exactly.
posted
And
a
I'm
picture of
curious.
Yeah.
Any more anniversary stuff?
Yeah.
I got one.
Well,
This is insane that there's so many rounded anniversaries this year.
yeah. Well, this year is also the 25th anniversary of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Hollywood, 1939. Amid the glitz and the glitter of a bustling young movie town at the height of its golden age, the Hollywood Tower Hotel was a star in its own right.
One of my favorite rides. If the Tower of Terror was here, it'd be the 15th anniversary this year, too. What do you have, Anthea?
At Animal Kingdom, they will be celebrating the 25th anniversary of The Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
With the Hakuna Matata Time Dance Party. So that'll be pretty awesome.
And will that be part of the Circle of Life show, or?
I don't think so. It seems like it's a separate situation. I'm assuming they'll probably have some dancers outside, just like they like to do with all traditional dance parties at Disney parks. Are dance parties my favorite? Nope. But people love them. Yeah. And the fact that they're even acknowledging an anniversary is really great.
Yeah.
I love The Lion King, and I know that the live action movie will also be coming out this year, no?
It is, yeah.
That's right.
So, I think there will be a lot more focus, a little bit of focus on The Lion King. They do have those really cute Lion King ears that I think kind of go under the radar right now.
Which one are these?
They're brown, and they have that little drawing of Simba on one of the ears, I believe.
I feel like I've seen this. But
Or did I
not a
just
lot.
make
That
that
sounds
up?
familiar, yeah. The Rafiki drawing of Simba?
I think so, unless I just made up some really awesome ears.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Either that or maybe it's not. Park.
If you see those ears pop up on Etsy, send us an email at info@remainseatedplease.com.
Okay, so they're $27.99. Jeez. They're in Adventureland. And so I apologize. They do not have the drawing of Simba on the ears, but there is a little medallion that hangs down on them.
Okay.
And then they say Hakuna Matata on the
Aside.
yeah.
I will say these are very cute.
I don't
These are
like the
super cute.
charm hanging down. I wish it was kind of centralized, or they just put it on an ear.
So speaking of things I don't like on these new ears, sorry.
Okay.
I don't love the notes or the hashtags or the whatevers
Agreed.
on the side of the
Text.
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, the text. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
They have hashtags on them?
The
Mickey.
90
Yeah, the 90th
Yeah.
celebration gold bow
It was like
ears.
hashtag Mickey 90 or something like
Yeah.
that. The sort of last big thing that I can see is at actually at an international park is the Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle attraction.
There's but I don't think it's opening in 2019. But the Toy Story Hotel at Tokyo.
Yeah, that's not. I think till 2021 that it opens.
And what about the Marvel stuff at California Adventure? Not this year?
The only thing
it didn't
I saw
come
was
up
that
when I was searching it.
experience. Yeah, was that whatever experience.
I would assume, though, that Blue Sky Cellar might reopen at some point this year with some preview stuff. At least I hope it does. And maybe they'll show some of that stuff at D23 this year.
That'd be nice.
But I really loved that they brought back Blue Sky Cellar. I did feel like it was a little too close to the opening of Pixar Pier because... And it had like almost no fanfare.
We didn't even go in it.
Oh, it was really nice.
Well, it's still there with Pixar stuff, though, isn't it?
Oh,
I saw the sign.
This time we saw the sign this weekend.
I would say you should go in because our buddy Jeff and Josh are in there with their son, and it's really cute. In the video that they play, the video is really good. But yeah, the return of, I guess, the refurb of Blue Sky Cellar with hopefully some Marvel. Do we know does it have a name? Marvel Land? Marvel Land?
Not that I know of.
A Marvel Land.
But they announced a Spider-Man ride.
Right, which is what kind of attraction?
It seems like it's probably going to be like the Toy Story ride. Shooting webs.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp is opening at Hong Kong in March. So that's really not that far away. And I feel like, did they show, or maybe I just saw the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Did they show anything from this attraction yet?
I think I've seen concept art, but nothing besides that.
Okay. So we don't know what kind of ride system it is or anything.
Over my
Not that I know.
Well, if anybody, March is right around the corner. So if anybody has any plans to get down to Hong Kong this year, you got that to look forward to. I imagine sometime around D23 we'll probably cover more Marvel Land stuff, and next year it'll be one of the big things to look forward to. And I'm sure that'll probably alleviate a lot of the Star Wars Land, Edge of the Galaxy's
Perhaps.
Edge.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think at first
Razor's
it'll probably be popular at first, but it'll probably be like how Guardians of the Galaxy is, just what it is normally.
Yeah, there's no real e-ticket attraction. Like Guardians will be the e-ticket attraction for this Marvel Land, right?
Yeah.
But again, won't make sense. Like this whole...
I know. They need to reroute the trolley or something. Like what?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Their sense is that the Guardians of the Galaxy building is from another galaxy, and it just
that's right.
It
landed here from nowhere or something. Well, with that, Anthea, where can we find you on the web?
You can find me at Magically Delicious Podcast on Instagram and Facebook.
Cool. Susie, where can we find you?
At A Little Sprinkle of Disney on Instagram. I apparently have a Facebook page, but...
Oh, you really do?
So I guess I should...
Well, we should... Yeah, let's all go look for it and give her a like.
Honestly, mainly...
It's just going to be reposting of your Instagram content.
Really, so.
No problem. And you can find us at Remain Seated Please on Instagram and Facebook, and Remain Seated Pulse on Twitter. That's PLS. You can also, if you want to shoot us an email, you can email us at info@remainseatedplease.com. And please be sure to rate and review us on iTunes, and you might just get a shout out on the show.
Tell us what you're most excited about that's coming to the parks in 2019. Tell us in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening, and Happy New Year, everyone, and we hope you have a wonderful 2019. I hope it's a wonderful, Disney-filled year for you and us as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
There. That wasn't so bad. Was it?
I'll see you all a little later.
You may not survive to pass this way again.
Time to be moving along.
Hurry back.
And barrel around to see us again.
Yeah, so 1989. Sorry.
So sorry.
Did you have a stroke?
So sorry.
So sorry.
So sorry.
I almost did it.